and thanks for joining me for this stinking cute Monstermaniacs card. Tops on the stinking cute-o-meter. Love him. This one actually comes from the stamp set called Monstermaniacs. How fun is that to say, Monstermaniacs? And I have to tell you a little about the stamp set. The stamp set was the winner of the Stampin' Up In With You contest, which is a beta program Stampin' Up is trying out, where you can submit your original artwork for stamp set challenges. And maybe you could design the next Stampin' Up stamp set, just like Doris, who designed this Monstermaniacs stamp set, which you can purchase on my online store, along with all the supplies for the card we're gonna make. Just click right on this video, and it'll bring you all the information on the card and the In With You contest. All right, let's get started. This is the Windows framelit set. We're gonna take the 3rd and 4th from the smallest, or 3rd and 4th from the largest, as they're both the same. And we're going to be using those today. You can use either the magnetic platform or the multi-purpose platform, which is closed on tab 2, one cutting pad. We're doing Pacific Point with our larger die and Whisper White, and then you'll need to do it one more time with the crushed curry on the smaller of the dies. One cutting pad on top and crank it through. So we will be creating these 3 sections. We're going to start working with our Whisper White. And I'll be using the StazOn Jet Black ink pad. We'll ink up our googly, cute little monster, or maybe he's an alien. I like aliens. Stamp him right in the middle, and then stamp him again on some scratch paper. And on the scratch paper, you're going to want to cut out just his head. We'll decapitate him a little bit. Oh, that sounds so crude. You can leave the antenna. We just need his head and the horns. Put a tiny little bit of snail on the back of that, and then I'm just going to tap it with my finger just to make it not so sticky. So it's just a temporary hold. Okay, now with my mask just covering his face, I'm going to start doing a little sponging with these 3 colors, starting with crushed curry, and that's going to go right around the middle. And I did bring it out to the edges just to keep the color even, but the middle is going to be the main section for the yellow. Next is some Coastal Cabana, which we're going to do around the edge and in a little bit. We want to leave a lot of that yellow right around him. Make him the spotlight. And we're going to finish it off with some Pacific Point. And that's really just on the very edge. And after I blended it, I actually did a little flicking on the edge just for real dramatic effect. Once we've done sponging, we can take that mask off his face so his face is really white. I've got 4 Stampin' Right markers here that we'll be using. Beginning with his body and the brush tip end of the old olive. We'll color that in. I really am pushing for him to be an alien, aren't I? Oh, he's such a cute little green man. We're going to use the crushed curry for his eyeballs. A little pumpkin pie on the tongue. And the very tip of his horns. And then the fine tip end of the Pacific Point for that little ring around the horn and his antenna. And then for a finishing touch, I took the Stampin' Up White gel pen and just did a few accents. That just really brings him to life. While we've got our markers out, we're going to take the Celebrate from the Seasonal Sayings stamp set, which is a bunch of words. Ink that up in the StazOn, and I stamped it vertically on the Whisper White. You can get all of these measurements on my blog. Again, at this URL by clicking in the link in the description below. Or if you're on YouTube, just click on this video. I'm going to color those letters in with the crushed curry Stampin' Right marker. Now for a really cool technique. I'm going to call this waffling. I'm using some snail to stick down the larger window panel in the Pacific Point. Then we've got the Square Lattice Impressions folder. We're going to put this right inside. Sandwich between 2 cutting pads. Place on tab 1 of the multi-purpose cutting platform and crank it through your Big Shot. This is so cool. It flattens everything down into one layer and just makes it this really cool texture for our background. It's so fun. And since it's textured, I'm going to use some of the Tombow liquid adhesive to attach it to our card base. You see I had a little boo-boo on the back, so we're celebrating on both sides. That layers on some Pacific Point. Again, measurements on the blog. Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of that layer. Stick it right down in our card and then put it down at an angle because it needs to be kooky. Now I'm getting ready to cut his crushed curry accent pieces, and it took me to this point to realize I'm going rogue. I turned the window sheet when I stamped them, so it gives it a totally different look for the background, and both of them are very cool. They're both the window framelits, and we'll do the same thing, but it gives them each a little different feel. You can tell me which one you like better, but I think they're both really cool. That is so funny. I did not even realize I did that. Okay, so since we've turned it, we're going to do the point as the top and the bottom. Put snail on the top and the bottom of the main panel. And once we've attached the accent pieces to the top and bottom, 4 Stampin' Dimensionals, pop him up and really give him a pow on front of the card. Oh, that is so cool. And I love how different just turning that window framelit just a hair makes it look. Be sure to visit my blog for daily inspiration and hundreds of videos and also specials and sales on Stampin' Up! Regularly. Thanks for joining me today.